Okay, before you come for me, please hear me out. Hi, I'm Samira. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about why men's fashion sucks. When we compare women's fashion to men's fashion, we can see there's an evident imbalance, right? The first reason being so is the lack of options. I feel like consumerism in like the fashion industry and the beauty industry in general is heavily targeted towards women. You can see it even when like you go out into stores and notice that women's section seem to be a whole lot bigger than men's section. Even when like holidays comes up, like Christmas, you'll see that there will be a bunch of different gifts you can get for women, whereas men's gifts ends up being in a lot smaller section and the options aren't as varied. And then lastly, even in thrift stores, I feel like there will be like 10 million rows of women's clothing, and then there'll be like 2 men's clothing options in like the back corner of the room. Women do make up a large population of the world, and there's also a larger emphasis on beauty standards in terms of appearance when it comes to women. So I can see why the push for consumerism and spending more and buying more things are more heavily targeted towards women. But it's not like men also don't face criticisms as well as the impact of beauty standards, and just like, what do I say, just like, yeah, in general, because men also face the same things but in like different ways, and they also have different impacts, right? What I find interesting is how men's fashion has transitioned through time. If we look further back in time, we'll see how men's fashion was a lot more regal. There was a lot more there. Men would wear, if you look at Europe, you would see men will wear embroidered clothing, they wear heel shoes. If you look at Africa, all the different fabrics and textiles that we'd have. If you look in the Middle East, the different garments and ornaments, and there was just a lot more being done with men's fashion as well as women's fashion, but we're focusing on that right now, right? But as time has transitioned, we see that the looks we have for men have declined in their extravagance as well as for women, but for men the standard has more drastically dropped. I have noticed that recently we are moving away from the path of minimalism in terms of both clothing, like houseware, lifestyle, into a more, we're not there yet, but like maximalist terms of expression. Despite this change occurring, men's fashion is in general, and like if we're looking at the bigger picture, not just like individually, because there are options that stand out, but holistically men's fashion is not keeping up, if that makes sense. So here's the reason I think why. First of all, the options out there do exist, and we can see it in like different countries, such as in Asia. I feel like the fashion there is a lot more expressive. There's a lot more being done. They are eating America up. I'm not gonna lie. They're eating the Brits up too. Come on now. They're eating the West up, essentially. So although there are like fewer options when it comes to men's clothing, we do see that there are examples where there are areas where men's fashion is thriving. So despite the lack of options, it is still possible. So my question is, why overall does it still suck? I think one of the main reasons being is the fear to appear feminine in a sort of way, or being labeled as gay because you dress softer, if that makes sense. A lot of the more like creative or risky fashion items, fashion clothing items, fashion choices in men's fashion clash with the idea of traditional masculinity. So when they do step outside of the box, they feel a lot of social shame or demasculinized or stigmatized, which stops people from wanting to explore their fashion or express themselves in different ways because of the social shame. Whereas women's fashion, on the other hand, when female presenting or women tend to dress more masculine, they don't face the same amount of shame. They're allowed more ways to express themselves. Whereas on the opposite hand, in men's fashion, men are not. It's very like stringent lines of what like masculinity can be. But I believe that thought has been around for a while, and the age we're coming in is a lot more lenient, but the like wounds from the past are still there, causing us to still have this problem. Although I do believe there's change happening, and I can feel it. I can see it on my Pinterest board. I'm like, hold up, wait, we're not just having the same look. It's not just the same TikTok look. It's not the same skinny jeans. We're switching it up, okay? Something's happening, something's brewing, someone's cooking, and I'm ready to eat. I can end it right there. I ate that, sorry. Also, I want to clear up on the idea of consumerism. I don't believe that in order to have like unique looks, to be able to express yourself through style, that you need to consume a lot per se. Because I feel like men in general do not consume as much as women do. However, you could still have like capsule pieces and unique items and just switch it up and still be able to pull up with unique looks. You don't need to have a lot of clothing to have good style. Clock it. To conclude, I'm really excited about what's to come off on men's fashion, about the new wave that's coming in, you know. Something's good's gonna happen. My eyes are on the lookout. And yeah, let's stay tuned in. Let me know what y'all think. What are y'all's opinions on men's fashion currently? Why do you think people tend to stick with certain looks versus being more explorative? Or do you think men's fashion is like the best fashion ever and that I'm completely wrong? Because that could be true too. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Thanks.